Hi friends, I wanted to give you a little something today for those of you that are sitting all day or slouching or playing guitar or whatever. This is a really good quickie. I don't give quickies to just anyone. So, you gotta have a door frame, which everybody has, unless you live in a sim world and somebody just like built 4 walls and threw you in. You should have a doorway somewhere. If you live in a sim world, you've got other issues. Don't worry about this. So the first thing we're going to do is establish the cactus position. I mean, you could do this too. But the cactus position is about 90 degrees in the elbow and, of course, about here. But depending on your structure, you might need to move things down or up a little bit. Usually up causes grief for people, but you'll see when you get there. So in this case, we're going to use the door frame, and we're going to try to get that 90 degrees. And then we're going to stand straight, facing Zatave. And from here, I'm going to press my elbow a little bit more into the door frame than the hand, although that's pressing too. As I press the elbow in, I activate some muscles that help keep me from hopefully overworking the joint. And I'm going to start turning my entire body, not just your head or chest, but use maybe your knees and your belly button as compasses. And I'm going to start turning it this way until I feel something that feels relatively good, like a stretchy sensation. And right now I feel a little cramping up in the neck, so I can alleviate that by pulling my elbow down. And now I feel a stretch instead of a cramp. So there's lots of nuances here. You can lift the elbow higher. That generally brings tension to most people, but it's up to you. In any case, you just stay here and you breathe. And there's that tendency to sort of like stick your butt out, maybe. And if you're doing that, try to pull the belly up a little bit so the belly is supporting you and you're not just poking your bum out. And you can stay for as long as you want. Make sure you're breathing. If you start to feel sharp pains, burning sensations, or pins and needles, you probably need to stop and either find a different way of organizing your arm or just don't do it. And then you've got, of course, side deux. And same thing. Now both sides will probably be a bit different. And I'll start moving this way. And I'm using my belly button and my knees more than I'm using the upper body as a compass, right? They're pointing in the same direction. I could use the other door frame if I wanted to. The idea is you want to be able to breathe. You want to be able to not be at a point where you have to grit your teeth through it, because then nervous system says, oh, this isn't good, and it probably is not going to make a whole lot of changes. It might feel good for an hour or so, but otherwise you don't want to get to that point. Okay, so that's the first exercise. And then we're going to use the wall here for another one. So with the wall, here, let's see. I'm going to turn you a bit so you can see me better. So with the wall, we're going to take the hand in about shoulder height. Now again, this could change depending on the person. Usually lower than the shoulder it tends to have more relief for people just based on common problems. And then the arm, the elbow, I'm not going to lock it out. I can, but I'm not going to lock it out to start. It's going to have a little droop to it. And same idea, I'm going to use my belly button and my knees and my toes as a compass, and I'm going to start moving this way. Now watch what happens to most people. They start moving, and because they have a pretty big restriction somewhere up in the shoulders or the pec minor, even underneath, their arm bone starts to pop up, and that's a no. So we're not going to do that. We're going to keep the shoulder down and the arm bone snug into your shoulder socket. And we're just going to move until that point. Once your arm wants to start to move up or it becomes too intense, that's when you want to stop. You don't want to get to that point. So for me, I can keep a little droop and I can keep moving. And I'm a little bit ridiculously mobile in my shoulders, so I could go further, but I'm going to like pause about 10 degrees before my max. And then I'm going to start locking out the arm. And when you lock out the arm, if there's any pain in your elbow, like don't do that. But if you lock out the arm, the sensation tends to shift. And I do strongly believe that when you're doing things that feel like you're stretching, that you should promote sensation that encompasses a wider area rather than just getting really intense in one spot. So try that. Good. Let's do number 2. Same thing. And again, I'm going to make sure I'm standing up straight because I do have a tendency to like stick my booty out. I've worked on it for like over a decade, so it's kind of not there anymore. This arm, start with a little droop. Here, I'll show you. A little droop in the arm. And same idea, I'm going to use more of the center of my body and then the lower half as my compass. And going to breathe. This one's a little more intense. Usually it's the other way around. And then at some point, when you feel like maybe you could straighten your arm, you can. You don't have to straighten your arm. This is really good for carpal tunnel work too, because you're getting some movement with your wrist here. And then you can stretch out the forearms, which you tend to get more sensation in the forearms once you lock the arm out. Good. Okay, we're going to do a third one because 3 is a good number. So let's give us a more solid background here. Yay. Okay. So we'll take the hands and all 4 of your digits and pull them back. Now, if you can go back this far, chances are you either have hypermobility in a lot of your body or for some reason just in your fingers, which occasionally happens with certain types of musicians. And then we'll pull the thumb back. And then we'll do individually. So, index, driving finger, ring finger, which I never put rings on my ring finger, and pinky finger. And then we're going to do 2 at a time, pinky and ring. I'll show you what this looks like from the side. We'll do index and driving, the mass whole finger, and the thumb. If anyone ever wants to have a thumb war with me, I'm happy to kick your ass anytime. Okay, and then the other side, right? So all 4. And you can always pause the video if I'm going too fast. And then just the thumb. And again, sometimes I forget that it's nice to see things from the side. So index, bleep you, the ring, the pinky. Then we do ring and pinky. Can't remember my fingers here. I don't know if I did this on the other side, but I usually put middle and ring together. I might have skipped that. Sorry. And then index, driving finger, and the I'll kick your ass in a thumb war. Yeah. Okay, good. So those are your desk work exercises for today. I hope you enjoyed them. Feel free to subscribe and like the video. If there's any other parts of the body you would like to address in terms of relieving pain or stress or anything at all, feel free to request it in the comments below. See you later.